Well, good morning. Today's Friday, April 24th. Welcome to our daily devotional. Let's take some time as we begin to consider, pause, and reflect on what we're grateful for this morning, or today, depending on what time you're doing this. Let's do that together. Again, our passage for today is Psalm 23. We're reading for this week together, and it reads like this. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leads me, he makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me along right paths for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Let's read that one more time. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me along right paths for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. It's now the 5th time we've read that this week. I guess probably the 22nd time, really, because we've read it 3 times, or 17th or whatever. What stands out to you as we reflect on this passage again today? Pause and consider that. We're going to look together at that last section about the goodness and love of the Lord following after us. How are you feeling today as you come to this Friday sheltering in place? I was thinking this morning, this is like 5 or 6 weeks of this now. How is that for you? Are there people that you're concerned about? People that you're missing? Activities that you miss? Passage says that surely the goodness and love of God will follow after us all the days of our life. How have you seen the goodness and love of God in your past? If you were to pause and reflect on a time where you experienced or discerned the goodness and love of God at work in your life, when would that be? The word follow is sort of a polite translation for the word in Hebrew. Another way to translate that word would be chase after. If we read it, surely your goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. It feels a little bit like the goodness and love of God is like a lapdog following after us, just sort of going where we go. But a better sense of the idea is that it's chasing after us with the intent to catch us. Maybe today you're feeling like you need the goodness and mercy, the goodness and love of God to chase after you and catch you today. Where do you feel in need of that love and goodness of God to catch you today? Talk to God about that now. Then it says, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now, I suspect that 6 weeks into sheltering in place, we probably prefer to run around in the backyard of the house of the Lord forever, at least some of us, the more extroverted ones of us. But what this gets at is this sense of being with God, being in the presence of God, God with us, protecting, providing, encouraging, comforting, loving, forever. In a time right now where we feel that so much is changing, so much is unstable, so much is confusing, here's God's stable, secure presence with us each and every day throughout the day into eternity. How do you feel about that idea? We know that Jesus says that, I think picking up on this theme, he says that, I'm building a dwelling place for you, that if I go, I will come again to bring you to be where I am. One day we will be with Jesus bodily in the resurrection. And even now the presence of God is with us by his Spirit. Just let that thought encourage you as we read this passage one more time. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He guides me along right paths for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the darkest valley, you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. As we turn to our time of examen, let us invite the Lord to come. God, we pray that you'd come and reveal yourself to us today. Shed your light on our lives, on our coming and going. And be with us, we pray. As you reflect on the last 24 hours of your life, maybe yesterday Where did you find yourself in consolation? Where did you find yourself drawn towards what was good, holy, joyful? Where did you see the activity of God in your life in such a way that you were drawn to it? As you discern sort of the stream of your life, what is drawn out, where you saw consolation in God at work. So pause to reflect on that and talk to God about that now. Now again, as you reflect on your day, yesterday, the last 24 hours, where did you experience desolation? Where did you find yourself in an absence of faith, hope, and love, or the presence of God feeling distant? Pause as you consider the stream of your life. Which moments are you drawn to for this? And pause and consider and talk to God about that. As you consider those times of being close to God and being distant, how can you respond to God's work in your life as you look forward to today? What obedience can you offer to Jesus? Now consider talking to God as you would talk to a friend about the cares and concerns that you carry into today as we close. Grace and peace to you, friend.